What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back once again, and today we're going to be doing another review on another series today, and of course we're going to be seeing what you see on the title of V Wars. Now, V Wars, if you guys are not aware, is a brand new Netflix series starring Ian Somerhalder, who played on The Vampire Diaries for over 8 seasons. He has returned in another crazy vampire apocalyptic world. Now, if you guys have not seen the show, you guys want to know about it, go ahead and check it out. I'll give you guys a brief summary, but I'm going to go ahead and go on what I thought about the story thus far, as well as everything as a whole. First off, let me say the show as a whole was all right. There was some about the show where I was losing interest back and forth. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it just seemed like they were trying to mix a lot of different shows into one. It was how can I put it? If you guys have ever watched Van Helsing, the show, and also the show Bitten that was on some years back, as well as The Strain, that's what it felt like all combined. It was a very different take with Ian Somerhalder's character Luther Swan, as well as the one that's playing his best friend Michael Vane. They go to Alaska and they get somehow uh, infected with this some disease that has somehow the so-called vampire strain, and they both get in quarantine. And somehow Michael Vane is the one that gets the this. He goes on a murdering spree. Luther does not, and then they are both on two different sides. They're best friends, and they're both trying to figure out what exactly do they do. Michael slowly starts to figure out that there's others like him, even though he's the main one. And then they start to wanting a nation called Blood Nation. They basically want the same rights as any other human being, but yes, they are killing people. And then it starts a war, and Luther is caught in the mix of this, trying to get his son, at the same time of having to kill his wife due to she got infected. And it's not your normal infection, guys. It's somewhere, if you have this gene, which is called the N14 gene, is what I believe it's called. And as soon as if you have that gene, then you're gonna turn. And what's so interesting is that if you just are around someone, then obviously, yes, you're going to be infected. If you're bitten, if you're scratched, you're not getting infected. Yes, you get. It shows the different parts of the show. There are different ones that are feeding on humans. There are different ones that basically use them as blood bags. There are different ones that use them as I want to say different things that we've seen in different vampire shows, such as or movies like Blade or Van Helsing, or even Vampire Diaries. There's so many different things that they put into the show that we've seen over and over again. Vampires now want to take over the world, and my thing of it is every time we see this, guys, it's always okay. A human being and animals can only produce blood so long, where it's not a eternity. You're gonna run out sooner or later, and that's what always got me in a scientific point of view. But this really does take a scientific view of trying to cure the disease slowly. But as of right now, it basically, the entire season one is you're trying to see, okay, how's it spreading, which you find out. And then also with Ian Somerhalder's character, he's trying to balance with being a father, trying to save his son, trying to still be a doctor, and trying to figure out a cure for this disease. And at the same time, trying to figure out a way to bring his best friend back on the brink of death, as well as being a serial killer, and at the same time being a monster. So we see both sides of the coin, where Michael Vane is now try to become a leader of this new species. And you see a lot of different characters in this that like the character Danica. She is a real estate agent, then she becomes power hungry, she infects her sister, and her sister becomes a vigilante of trying to kill vampires. So sort of like a female version of Blade in this. And then also we got a reporter who is trying to get the story about Michael Vane. So there's a lot of stuff in this show that was going on. And some of it, I'm gonna say right now, guys, the only character I really cared about was Ian Somerhalder's character, because all the other characters to me was kind of flawed. Like, it just seemed like they were like, so many people were like, oh, there's so much good character development, and honestly, there wasn't. There was not good character development at all. I mean, the only one that had a character development out of my honest opinion was, of course, Ian Somerhalder's character, Luther Swan. He did not want to kill anyone. Yes, he had to kill some people. He had to kill vampires to survive, to fight back, to also kill anyone that was going to harm his son. At the same time, Michael Vane, he had some character development from being a regular Joe on the street and then becoming a monster and then trying to become a new leader. Then he slowly gets betrayed later on by the ones that he takes in. And then we also get to see different ones that he had within his ranks. Does initially become jealous of his relationship with another character, and then also tries to take, technically, the throne from him, because he still wants to have political matters with humans. And it does go south at the very end of it, to where the cure that they were going to have, because Ian Somerhalder's character does work with the DNS as an organization of the government. They are very corrupted by a senator that wants this to happen, to try to control it, and then one of the other senators does not. Ian Somerhalder's character does work with this other senator, tries to create a blood cure, and unfortunately it does not work, and it does produce somehow some poison that another senator was able to put into this blood, and it just causes world chaos. And then now we're at war at the very end of it, so we get to see where Ian Somerhalder tries to go back to get his son, tries to find his ex-wife in the process, and we also find out that his son does get taken by the one that was the head of the DNS and now wants to become a vampire, because somehow or other he basically had the comprehension of, well, if you can't beat him, might as well join him, is the comprehension that he was getting, because he was one of those, the character of the head of the DNS, he wanted to basically be in control. He was a control freak throughout the entire franchise, and we get to just, throughout the entire season, you're just like, really, throughout the entire time. And then it didn't really shock me that he so-called became the leader, and it didn't make no sense of how he become a leader, because why would he be a leader if you had the other one that's in command, that was the second command to Michael, to not just basically give it to him? That made no sense to me. I think that was really horrible. Some of the acting was kind of like, I didn't really take the one playing Ian Somerhalder's son too seriously. I didn't take some of what Michael Vane was doing seriously. A lot of this stuff in there was kind of crazy, like with Michael Vane's character going to a club to infect the president's daughter. I'm just like, okay, what the hell? That was pretty much stupid to do, because you're about ready to try to do something else possible with humans, even though he did not know at that time. That was still stupid. Then they show the character that is a reporter with her so-called boyfriend getting killed. He was a hacker, and just everything else. It was just boring. Some of it was just boring, and it did not, out of my opinion, start actually getting good to like the last end of the show, because at the very end of the show, you see Ian Somerhalder, he's working out, and then finally the one that's the vigilante of the sister, and I'm guessing she killed her sister, and she tells him, I found a blood camp, and I think I found your son there. And he says, how do you know it's my son? She says, well, the one that wasn't infected, because somehow his son got infected and he did not turn into a vampire, because whatever is in his blood, and he wanted to experiment on his son in a way to figure out how he can make a cure, and his son did not want to do that. And then later on, his son did want to do it, because he developed a relationship with the senator's daughter, where they were saying that in part of the season. So there again, there's a lot going on, and there was really nothing going on until like the very last couple episodes. That's when it really got interesting. It just kind of went up and down. It looked like they were trying to take a lot of different approaches from the show, as well as apparently the comics. I have not read the comics, so I may have to check that out. But overall, the season was all right in my opinion. Overall, I probably give it a 5 out of 10. Out of my, I'm wanting to see if there's going to be more action in season 2, because again, I do. It's just a lot of these characters that I could not take seriously, and I did not care. I did not care about the reporter. I did not care about the two ones that Michael had in his group. I did not really care about. There's very few characters that I really held like, where I didn't want this person to die, or I wanted this person to survive. It wasn't like that. There was only like maybe 2 I wanted to see survive, and that was basically Ian Somerhalder and his son, and then possibly Michael May. That was just really it. I'm just sitting there going, all these other characters I really don't care about, and it's just I don't. And that was just my concept of it. But I'm wanting to see where all these characters go in a possible season 2. Now, to my knowledge, the season 2 has not been confirmed yet. There's been a lot of about if it's going to happen or not. But guys, let me know anything about V-Wars. Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? I'd like to know what you did like about it, what you disliked about it. I just kind of disliked it. I thought there was going to be more action. I thought there was going to be more suspense. I thought there was going to be more horror in it. That was just me. I mean, I was a little disappointed in that, but I think we may get that in the next season. And I did like the scientific approach that they did with that. Some of the acting I thought could have been a little bit better, out of my personal opinion. I also thought some of the characters could have been less involved. Maybe I don't know if it was the writing. I don't know if it was just the actors. I don't know. I mean, I just think some of it was kind of flawed, and I know I've seen that a little bit over the internet. But again, that's just my opinion, and I went in this very open-minded. But that's all I really got to say about it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys not? Let me know if you guys are new to the channel. Consider about subscribing. Links down below, and I'll see you guys on the very next one.